So we're hearing one of the co-CEOs say they're going to need to borrow less money than previously thought. At the same time, they're raising their capex. Why do you think the street's reacting to that so strongly? Is it the spending or is this like the lack of clarity about the financing?
I think that there is just a lot of concern here about where that revenue is supposed to come from. I don't think that there's a lot of certainty that OpenAI can do what they say they're going to do over the next few years, and I think that that's mostly what we're seeing reflected here. When you start hearing words like credit default swap thrown around, you get that 2008 flashback, and it's like you're back in Nam. And so I think that there's just a little bit of a sense of maybe this isn't the sort of miracle stock we thought it was.
All right. So it might not be the miracle stock we thought it was, but we saw RPO surge. And it's not just OpenAI now. They said Meta, NVIDIA, also key customers, key clients for them. Shouldn't that ease some of the concerns about overconcentration with OpenAI and the fact that OpenAI has to come up with all this money, because we know that NVIDIA and Meta do have the money?
They certainly do have the money. The question is, will they actually have enough usage to need all of this? And I don't know what the Oracle contract looks like, but we do know that a lot of these deals that are being announced, they're not sort of set in stone. And so if the usage goes down, they have the ability, that these customers have the leverage to pull back and say, hey, actually, we'll push it out a quarter, we'll push it out a year. We're not quite there yet. So I think that is causing some concern. I also think that there was so much excitement when Oracle started these announcements that they got a little ahead of their skis on the stock price, and now that's just coming down to earth a bit.
All right. Chip neutrality. I thought that was a very interesting comment from Larry Ellison. The idea that they're not married to NVIDIA. They're certainly going to work with NVIDIA, and we saw NVIDIA and CoreWeave move lower, I think, on those comments. But shouldn't that be exciting for the entire AI trade, the fact that we're starting to see a broadening out when it comes to chips, and the idea that we're going to see maybe not replacements for NVIDIA chips, but other alternatives?
Yeah, I think that is. And we've known that's coming, right? I've been saying that for quite a while now, that NVIDIA has a massive head start, but it won't be sort of the only game in town forever. I think, about 6 months, a year ago, I started saying, look, you have maybe a 2-year head start. And so now we're starting to get to the end of that with NVIDIA. I think that is good for the ecosystem, maybe tough for NVIDIA, but I think that that's good. And I think that for people sort of in the know who've been watching, it's not surprising.
All right, bottom line question for you, Sarah. We had a guest on yesterday, said this was a viable dip into Oracle going into the earnings report. Obviously, it's dipped even more now. In your mind, is this a viable dip? Is this a company that you have confidence in as being one of the winners in the AI trade, at least over the next year or so?
Do I think that Oracle is absolutely a cockroach company that will still be here in 10, 20 years? Yes. Do I think that this dip is quite dippy enough? Maybe not yet.